Why can't I change my email address at some online providers? Hi everyone, Leo Notenboom here for askleo.com. Question. Here's my latest pet peeve about accounts on the web. Some companies have systems that don't allow you to change your login name. And because they required an email address as your login name, you have to continue to use that unless you want to create a brand new account, which means you lose all the data in the old one. This is ridiculous. I agree, 100%. You should be able to change the email address associated with any of your online accounts. Emphasis on the word should, since, of course, not all online account providers apparently allow you to do so. And in those cases, it can be a very, very big problem. Here's what to look for. It's common for online accounts to be completely identified by your email address. Some sites have both a username, like say Leo, and an email address, like leo@askleo.com, where the username identifies your account, but many sites use only your email address as your username. When you sign up with somerandomservice.com, for example, you provide an email address and a password. When you want to sign in to somerandomservice.com again in the future, you provide your email address and your password. You're in. Easy peasy. But what happens if you need to change your email address? Or worse, what happens if you've lost access to that email address? Really depends on how robust that service is. Many, perhaps even most online services are set up to handle this case. It's very common. Typically, buried in your account settings, perhaps alongside security and other settings, is your email address, which you can change. Be sure to scour all of the available settings. If you don't find it immediately, it can be hard to find sometimes. The mechanics vary, but in general, it's a multi-step process. You sign into the online service, say somerandomservice.com in our example. You provide a new email address. You respond to a confirmation message that was sent to the old email address to confirm your desire to make the change. Then you respond to a confirmation sent to the new email address to confirm you got it right. Then you start using the new email address to sign into your account. Again, easy peasy. Except when the service provider provides no mechanism for changing your email address. Now, what happens if you're switching email addresses because your old one is gone? Maybe you moved out of the ISP service area. Maybe it got hacked. Maybe you're just permanently locked out for some reason. Sometimes the second step above, a confirmation sent to the old email address, doesn't happen. If that's the case, sign into the online service, again, somerandomservice.com in our example, provide a new email address, respond to a confirmation sent to that new email address, and then start using the new email address to sign in to your account. Done. But what if that second step, the one where you had to respond to a confirmation sent to the old email address, that email address you no longer have access to, what if that second step is there? Well, to put it gently, you're probably screwed. In general, the advice is, once you've reached this stage, is to reach out to customer support. In rare cases, they can help. They might use some other information to confirm you are who you say you are, and they do something in the back end that can change the email address for you. But I did say rare. More common are either of the following. There is no customer service, or there's literally no mechanism for changing the email address associated with the account. Honestly, that the latter one is even possible in this day and age just floors me. And yet, the original questioner confirmed with customer support that the email address to the online account could not be changed. Period. A new email address meant a completely new account. Unacceptable. Email addresses change, after all, and you shouldn't lose your online account at somerandomservice.com because of it. It's bad design, bad programming, and bad customer experience. If you can't change your email address with a service, you have two options. Keep using the old email address if you can, or start a new account with a new email address, which typically means losing everything associated with the old account. Of course, there's also a third option: stop using that service. Unfortunately, that's not always practical. This is a difficult one to plan for and a difficult one to recover from. The only real advice I can offer, besides what I've described so far, is to use an email address you're unlikely to ever need to change. Typically, that means an email address on a domain you own, like I own askleo.com. Email addresses that I create on that domain, like leo@askleo.com, they're mine as long as I own the domain, which I expect will be the rest of my life. For updates, for comments, for links related to this topic and more, visit askleo.com/191102. I'm Leo Notenboom, and this is askleo.com. Thanks for watching.